had the long conversation with my grandmother where she thought it was a cult. Had to convince her that we weren't trying to cast magic around a table in the basement and try to kill my parents or something ridiculous like that.
My family at home thinks it's kind of the natural progression for me because it's me taking theater and teaching and event planning. So it's me taking all the things I love and putting it together.
The one thing that sums it up is when somebody rolls by with their window rolled down and they go, "Nerds!"
Amtgard is a huge part of my life. Amtgard is the source of almost all of my friendships. I mean, the only thing that comes close to being as huge right now is probably Katie. I mean, it's the reason we got together. It's the reason why our relationship got along as well as it does.
If you live in the junkies, week or later.
Matt and Katie Dean are 28 years old. They didn't meet as Matt and Katie anywhere in the mundane of the real world. They met in a medieval fantasy realm through live-action role-playing, or LARPing. They call the game Amtgard, and every Sunday they get together with other warriors in a park in Ottawa. Amtgard isn't just about battling with foam swords. It's about creating fully realized characters with unique backstories and costumes. Your character can be a fighter, a spellcaster, or even a monarch. And characters get credit for taking part in battles and quests.
Okay, guys, listen up! So, we have a couple things to be voting on. We have the local monarchy elections for Baron, Consort, and Champion.
There are over 400 chapters of Amtgard across North America. Each baronry votes regularly on who will represent them.
Dues paid active. The following list of people are eligible to vote immediately. Osric, Diana, Decrius, Elm, Ethrin.
It's a world of its own, an escape.
Lacris, Lark, Lee, Markey.
Amtgard helps me cope because it gives me something else to focus on. It gives us something to do in our day-to-day lives. I just finished my degree at Carleton for electrical engineering, and I'm looking for work. I had finished college, I was working at a plant or whatever, but I was playing Amtgard at the Toronto Park.
I was hanging out with a good friend of Matt's, and Matt walked on the field, and I turned to him and I go, "Who is that guy?" Good. Matt looked like the kind of person that I'd really get along with. I thought he was cute. I, was instantly smitten. I work at the David's Tea out in Bayshore, and I have a passion for tea that in knowledge level, I would say rivals my passion for Amtgard, just because I really find, and this is going to sound really geeky, find tea fascinating. I know that it's not a fancy job. I know it's not grand, and I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, but I'm happy every day when I go into work.
So my usual method of finding work is I've got myself set up with a whole bunch of job search agents. I've gotten a little bit behind, so I could probably spend the next 4 hours going through all the postings that I've received in my email. When I'm on about it a little bit more, it's more like 3 or 4 hours a day. Or 3 or 4 hours a week more, I guess. Well, it's frustrating because engineering is such a broad field that you don't really do a lot of specific training in school unless you went into your master's or your PhD. With having a degree and a diploma, there's a leather shop here in town. I could knock the job out of the park, but they're not going to hire me because it's the guy who owns the place is like, "You've got a degree in engineering. As soon as somebody offers you engineering work, you're going to leave me." The only work I've been able to find is temporary or seasonal. When I walk onto the field on Sundays, I feel like I'm going somewhere familiar. So it's good.
am the champion of this park in Amtgard. The champion runs the field. The biggest thing is just being able to kind of live out your fantasy, the idea that some people in the game refer to it as like the Amtgard dream. You know, you come out, it's always a good time, you're always able to just live out your fantasies. For the Horde!
Part of the fantasy of Amtgard is getting the chance to be someone else for a while. With a background in theater, Katie enjoys immersing herself in the personalities of several different characters.
This is the main costume for my character Diana. She's a character that I've been playing since the beginning. When I started playing Diana, it was a bit more exploration of self. She doesn't worry. I worry a lot. I'm a natural mother type, so I like to take care of my friends at the park. I like to help people along. I love costuming. I have a wall of different pieces here that I have made that it was just, oh, I want a slough coat and I want to trim it with green and gold, so I'm going to have to revive a character that I haven't played for ages because none of my characters have a green and gold color palette. Oh, I've got this scrap leather, I want to make something really barbarian style, you know. Well, now I'm going to need a barbarian character to play that. Oh, I joined a fighting company and I've got this Crimson Guard tunic, so now I need a warrior type character. And so a lot of times it was, oh, I'm making this new shirt, this new tunic, this new skirt. I want to see how things go, obviously, with the tea store and see where things lie with family in a couple of years. But later in life, I would not mind crafting as a business. I've been getting more involved in my store and have been taking on some like higher level roles, and hopefully that will actually go somewhere really exciting. So I have to start to balance how involved I have been with Amtgard with how involved I would like to be in my store. And then, I mean, there's the thought that Matt and I are getting to a point where we'd like to start a family soon. We don't want to just buy a house, we want to build a house.
I think that Amtgard can offer an escape because it allows you to play out a character that's not you. So for however long you're role-playing that character, you're not worrying about your mortgage, you're not worrying about your kids at home, you're not worrying about the bill that's coming up.
There is an element to Amtgard when you walk on that field where the tension just kind of will roll off you and you can kind of like relax into it because you know you're in a place where people are going to listen to you, they're going to hear you out, they're going to help you through it.
Amtgard takes up about as much time as I give it. So right now, where I'm not working, unfortunately, I've devoting a lot of time to Amtgard. Depending on how the career goes, like how long it takes me to find gainful employment and how Katie does with the tea shop, the house will probably be starting in 5 years, we hope. But 5-year plan is, yeah, kids, Amtgard, work, then building up to the house.
Is LARPing in the future?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I can fully see both of us still playing Amtgard when we're 50, easily, if not 60.
Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Face! Yeah! Sanctuary! Sanctuary.